Time for an adventure? Go on then. So then, folks, welcome back to a new series on a new game. It's that time of year, and we're going with Manchester City. Now, of course, it's a new series, so that means we're giving away a copy of the game. Leave down in the comment section the team that you intend on starting with. There'll be a tweet as well that you can retweet and be involved in giveaways across the board, really. But the most important thing, viewers, like the video. For heaven's sake, it really does help me out at the start of the year. So get on it. And of course, make sure you subscribe for the rest of the year as well. So, Manchester City, a team that divide opinion. I say divide opinion. I find them indifferent. Good start, isn't it? Say they divide opinion and then say that you don't care. I think the thing with Manchester City is the soul of City has kind of been taken away a little bit by having so much money invested. And Pep Guardiola, he couldn't win the Champions League, could he? And now his time is up. And I intend on doing things differently, viewers. I intend on bringing in youth players. I intend on developing players from this club and eventually leading them to glory, right? Phil Foden, he needs friends, viewers. And that's what we're going to do. I am the man to change the philosophy at Manchester City. We're going to do things the right way, the DoctorBenjy way. But as you can see there then, I have been appointed. Pep Guardiola leaves. I'm on 140 grand a week. It seems excessive. This is my first job in management. Of course, they've seen the Football Manager stuff. They've loved that, and they've gone, get him in. This is what we need. So, I've never managed City. I've never watched anyone manage City before. This is the first time I've seen City appear in Football Manager. Other than they're destroying me. League title on league title. Now, of course, they've won the league. They're Premier League holders. I'm expecting to roll the league again. But that's not the objective here, is it, viewers? Of course, the Champions League. That's what we want. That's what we're aiming for. And we have to bring one to Manchester City at long last. Our transfer budget, as you can see there, is £100 million. I think I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring in youth. All the youth, viewers. I'm going to develop players. 100 million. So club vision-wise, play attacking football, develop players using the club youth system. See, Pep's not been doing that nearly enough. Sign high position players, play entertaining football, play possession football. The 5-year plan, I'm not as interested in, if I'm honest with you. At the end of the year, though, they want me to qualify for the European Champions Cup. That is the Champions League. And the rest of it is pretty straightforward. Reach the final of a couple of domestics, get to the semi-final of the Champions League. No. I'm coming here to make a mark, viewers. We're winning the Champions League. I'm calling it now. We'll set up friendlies and things like that. Backroom meetings. We will do every fortnight, of course. So, we're back at it. There's a lovely pink. I think the pink and blue goes quite well together, actually. I'm a big fan of this, viewers. Of course, then, we'll go through what you always do at the start of a club. You find out what you're working with. There's a few injuries to some key players as well. Phil Foden out for an unknown amount of time, it feels like. And, as well as Kevin De Bruyne. Star players in this team. I suspect Phil Foden is very good. Of course, the big summer signing was our boy Jack, wasn't it? Jack Grealish has signed for Manchester City, and I saw him a lot last year in draft mode and things like that. He's definitely improved upon last year. And of course, some exits as well. Sergio Aguero's gone. And that striking role then, is Gabriel Jesus the man to take us forward? That's the question. Of course, you'll have noticed straight away the new ranges for transfers. Look, let's talk about let's address the elephant at Tottenham. I mean, let's not call him an elephant. As much as I am going to develop talent, is Harry Kane the person we need? Of course, the deal didn't get done in real life. I'm being told to sign Kane, whatever the price. Oh, good heavens. Of course, his record for Tottenham is very good. I guess the first question of the whole series, viewers, is would you sign Harry Kane? Would you do it? I mean, there's other options. Of course, I've done a video on my channel already, which is Mbappe versus Haaland. You can see who's better in Football Manager. Little spoiler, Haaland's good. So is this the guy instead? Can we try and negotiate something with Borussia Dortmund? Can I get them both in? Probably not. But the finances are strong. 100 million to spend, a little bit of wiggle room on the wage budget as well. It's a couple of great players or one superstar, isn't it? And that's kind of the decision we have to come to. Tactically, what are we thinking then? I'm thinking 4-2-3-1 gegenpress, viewers. No one's done it before. It's a whole new experience. No, I think we try and go with sort of the City style of tiki-taka, work it up neatly, wait for that opening, and then pounce. And if you're going to play that way, is Harry Kane the option? Maybe he is. I like the fact 4-2-3-1 is a tiki-taka system. We could play a 5 at the back, but that's not something I intend on doing. I feel like the way I look at City's side, if everybody's fit, we'll pick an imaginary 11 almost. You've got the decisions to make between Walker and Cancelo, and at left back they are a little bit weak as well. So there's maybe an option to bring someone in, or of course play Cancelo out on that side. Defensively, very strong. And Ruben Diaz, by the way, if you saw him last year, you'll know this is a big improvement on last year. With Virgil van Dijk out of the picture for Liverpool, he was sort of touted as the best defender. So I guess we'll see this year if that was true. Laporte as well back there. This team kind of does pick itself. You realise here, Rodri at the base of the midfield with probably, what are we thinking? Kevin De Bruyne? It's a good team, isn't it? Kevin De Bruyne, and you probably put in, Xhaka on the left? Are you playing Grealish? Are you playing Sterling on the right? Are you selling Sterling? So we're making a lot of noise recently about wanting to leave. The problem we might have is if other clubs around Europe have money to spend. Of course, it was well documented. City have this money. They're bidding frivolously for Harry Kane. So it could happen. But are we missing this player? Again, is Gabriel Jesus? Is he the guy? Is he the guy? I'm not sure he is. At this level, when you compare him to some of the other boys in this side, when you compare him to a De Bruyne, is he at the level? When you compare him to a Sterling, is he at the level? I'm not sure he is, viewers. If I'm honest, I'm not sure he is. Of course, we have the Community Shield versus Leicester City. What I'm going to do is play that game tomorrow, as well as having, this is quite exciting, a transfer bonanza, viewers. There's going to be signings. I don't know who I'm going to get right now. There's question marks to be had, and of course, a lot of these players who are not at the club should leave. The squad's actually quite thin, isn't it? There's not a huge amount of quality here. Now, of course, I'm coming into this with the maximum amount of pressure. Like, there's not a save you can pick which is more difficult to succeed in the Manchester City. And what I mean by that is failure is not an option. Forget what the board have said. You watching right now, let's be honest, viewers, you expect me to win everything. Unless you've watched before, then, well, you expect some success. You can expect a win here or there. But this is now then my home for the next however long. Of course, there are problems. Actually, are we favourites for the league? Because that would pass some pressure. That's great. Liverpool just behind, of course. They're back to pretty much full strength at this stage. Not an injury in sight for them, really. Virgil van Dijk is coming back very, very shortly. Trent's the same. So they're going to be absolutely fine. Of course, we've got the threat of Chelsea now as well. They are a danger for us, and having signed Romelu Lukaku, who I assume is quite, we should sign him. I mean, that's ridiculous. In terms of everything else then, club vision expectation meeting, I agree. We're gonna develop players using the club youth system. That's a philosophy I believe in. And speaking of which, do we have any good youth players? There's a few. Cole Palmer, he's sort of making his way through. He's actually pretty good, but probably not ready quite yet. They've got Kike, who was signed very, very recently, you might remember, for relatively big money. He's supposed to be the next big thing in Brazil. I don't know if we get a chance to see him really flourish in this save. Of course, we're doing Glory Hunter as our main save. For those that are unfamiliar, we're doing a save where you try and win all the trophies in 20 years of Football Manager. I say all the trophies, all the top European trophies in 20 years of Football Manager. That'll be coming out on the 9th of November when the game is out of beta. So prepare yourselves for that. City, there's not a lot of options, are there? Let's be honest. There's a few that are coming through, but are they going to really oust the players that are currently at the squad? I'm not so sure, and a lot of the good ones as well will be out on loan elsewhere. Of course, I'm really excited to get involved with the Data Hub. I'll be showing you all about the Data Hub and how to best utilise it throughout this series. But right now, you need to play quite a few games before you get to that point. Either way, quite excited to get involved with it. It's good. Some of you know I've had early access, okay? I might have seen it before. But I'm just looking at the squad now, and are there areas we really need to strengthen? That's the question I've got to ask. Interestingly, if you didn't notice this, they've moved squad depth to the main screen. So if you take a look at the squad depth, you look at the current ability, the core's pretty good. Fullback's a little bit questionable, and that is the story, isn't it? The striking options to us, they're not quite there. I have no intention of playing Ferran Torres as a lone striker in this system. I have to buy somebody. I'm sure you've got suggestions in the comment section. There's a whole host of boys we could go for. I just don't know who that's going to be. I think the reality is, if I'm going to go, English, make City, respectable again, you're probably looking at the likes of, if Kane's off the table, Dominic Calvert-Lewin to come in maybe, but is he that much better than Jesus? Oh, probably not. Again then, so major money that we've got some injuries picked up already. Of course, we'll be showing you throughout the engine and all sorts of things, but this is the first episode. It's the key episode that gets things off and running. And I cannot wait to play through this in the entirety of the beta and probably a little bit beyond as well. And hopefully we end this series a huge success, a rip-roaring success, right? Sure. Of course, one of my big fears this season are these boys. They've got new money. Yeah, the new money is in. Amanda and her lads have joined, and they've got 200 million to spend. Hang on, do they want Sterling? Hang on a minute. I feel like Raheem, and as a Liverpool fan, which is a brave thing to admit, I feel like Raheem, you're talking about wanting a move. I've seen you do it before. I'm going to offer you to clubs. It's a brave move at the start of the series. One thing's for certain, Scott Carson going nowhere. So that's one thing we can be dead certain on. Bruyne and Foden, though, out for a long time. Again, maybe a creative midfielder might be offering. I mean, we've been offered a few players here, actually. And the approach agent stuff now is really cool. Like the agents and how you respond to them and talk to them is so much better than it was in previous years. You get so much more information. If I say I want Cherky, they give me a complete outline of everything that they'd want. If I wanted him, I'm not going to sign him, but it was just more of an example. There's 12 more suggestions. Mason Mount, yes. Harry Kane, they've been watching the news. Kylian Mbappe, not likely. Luis Diaz, Koundé, Saka, Chilwell. They believe in sort of the English philosophy. Kai Havertz is there as well. Probably not going to be very likely. As Sadio Mane was the last one. I'm not sure Liverpool are going to let me do that. I've got a feeling. So maybe a creative midfielder and maybe a left back and definitely a striker, right? That's what we're thinking. Okay, that concludes this first video. Of course, if you have enjoyed it, please do drop a like in the area where you leave likes, and of course leave comments as well to win the giveaway. The team you're managing first, and a reason why doesn't hurt either. I'll be picking one that I think is the best answer. So a thumbs up anything that you like. If you think, you know what, he deserves it, feel free to get involved in that. Again, giveaways all in the description, Instagram, Twitter, all sorts going on, and for a new series, of course. And we'd love with care then. From us, but until next time, I'll see you again soon. Like the video, back tomorrow for a whole lot more. Actually, no. When this video hits 5,000 likes, episode 2. Easy as that.